How we doing, everybody? I'm here in beautiful Austin, Texas. You can see our skyline in the background, and I dropped my daughter off at acting class today. Went for a beautiful trail run around Town Lake hiking bike trail, and just felt great out of my run. I used to coach a boot camp on these grounds. I'll show you. I'm at Zilker Park here. This is where the South by Southwest, the ACL Music Festival takes place. Huge park out here. This is where the ACL Music Fest takes place every year. I said, what a cool spot to shoot my video today. And I'm hitting on a topic that came up recently. Was flying all around social media, and I don't remember how long ago it was, but I hit on this topic a while back, and it's about, in most cases, when things happen and we're involved in something, or we hear something, we see something, if we will take, in many cases, take a night to sleep on it, at least hit our pause button and take a couple hours, maybe even 5 minutes, maybe even 30 seconds, you know, from several days to 30 seconds and everything in between, hitting that pause button and taking some time to think about how we need to react to things in person, on social media, oh my gosh, on social media, and in various other ways that we have the ability to communicate: text message, private message, phone calls, in meetings, just associating with people. So many times, there's just a percentage of people that have an opinion about everything. And a lot of times, those opinions are pretty radical, and they have no filter, and they just vomit. I mean, it just, bleh. They just puke all over everything and just let the filters thrown out, and they just let the hate fly, man. You know, the anger, the despise towards something. And in so many cases, and I know this is a repetitive message, but in so many cases, it really isn't a massive issue. But I'll be damned if I'm not gonna jump in there and I'm gonna freaking drop the hammer. And sleeping on these things and taking some time to take a deep breath and say, you know, maybe I could handle this a different way. Maybe I need to reach out to the person privately before I bash them, tear them to pieces, call them a bunch of ridiculous names on social media. I'm gonna drop the freaking guillotine on their neck right here on social media. I'm just gonna hammer them. And in many cases, they don't know all the details. They don't know everything that happened. And in some cases, you know, the people that are actually dealing right in the middle of the stress, they're the ones that handle it the well. It's these little outside pieces of the equation that are like, and just throwing flames in and stoking fires. And I don't know, man. I've just always been a person that, like I've said before, I like to carry on a fire extinguisher. I love to just, I don't care if it sounds cheesy to some people, I just love to try to build peace and harmony and love between people. And I'm just one person in a world full of billions, and as more and more people fail forward and try to do what I'm doing with this message, hey, we become this much better. You know, there's just a little less hate. And so I encourage you, man, that sometimes we need to speak up. I always say, man, if you're about ready to harm my family or doing something that's just really gonna hit me heavily, I'm still gonna handle it as graciously as possible, but I'm gonna bring it up. But in some cases, man, I just kind of keep my. Sometimes I don't have to have anything to say, unless there's something good to say. You know, my old great grandmother used to say, sometimes you don't need to say anything unless you got something good to say about the situation. And I know that sounds cliche and old school, but you know what? It makes for a harmonious day sometimes for all of us and everybody involved. So that's the message, my friends. Decide to love on somebody today. Decide to I challenge you to handle something with a little more grace than maybe you or somebody around you, you know, are challenge you to challenge somebody else to handle their day and their messaging with people, their communication with a little more grace. Grace is the word of the message. So anyway, much love to everybody. Y'all be good.